Hello, hello. Oh my god, is everything up now? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, we're rolling. Hello. I initially was going to start stream earlier today, but had more chores than anticipated. Had 2 car washings done, but yeah. Oh yeah, and I also had some other testing of hardware to do for my VRChat stream tomorrow. And well, the test was a resounding success with the new hardware I got, so should be running a lot more smoother than before when it comes to the VRChat stream, VRChat roleplay stream. But yes. Now then, let us get to the trial. Actually, now I think about it, is Von Zieks also going to be in this trial? But yeah, last episode, yeah, we are diving into the past. Before the final case of the last game, or, well, for some reason going back in time to one of the previous cases that wasn't played before in the first game. And we're defending, like, one of the, we're doing a repeat case, well, sort of a repeat case, not really a repeat case, but we have a repeat client who just got out of being framed for murder. Well, not really for murder, but he was accused of attempted murder, which turned out to be an accident instead of an actual murder. And then right after that, he also got arrested under suspicion of attempted murder. A different case of attempted murder, which is, yeah, he's got horrible luck. This is the one with the Irish girl? No, this is not. This is not the one. This is a case before that final one. Yeah. It was a case before that one. Yeah, this, yeah. Yeah, you'll see. 22nd of February, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat, all at the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. That's my line. Oh, that's her. Good morning! Ah, good morning, Mr. Natsume. It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here. Yes, we somehow managed to prove you didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But not this! Another morning, another murder! And here I am again in this hello! Keep coming to court! I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. Nadahodo, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh. Mr. Natsume, good morning. Yes, good morning. Morning. So, here we are again. Yes, again. What's the bad news? Oh dear. You heard, didn't you? Did you? If you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can help me hear what you say! Oh, I'm sorry. You've done nothing wrong, Mrs. Sato. Now, what is it? Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial will be led by Lord Baddock Von Zieks. Von Zieks? Gah! Oh no! Oh no no! The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. Wine guy's back, yeah. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through, but still. Wine guy is indeed back to throw more chalices into nearby fire and just shatter them. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial was the end of the matter, after all. Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Von Zieks is the prosecutor. Into the abyss, the summoner of wine glasses, yeah. And he just has a bunch of wine on his person, I guess, because he keeps whipping them out after throwing each bottle and cup away. Oh no.
That even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end, one way or another.
And if you've experienced it firsthand. The man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal, right here in the Old Bailey. Do I have to put up with those ice-cold eyes? Boring into my soul again! Cursed by evil spirits and now by the Reaper! Pair of eventually, perils potentially!
Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume.
Look at him, Mr. Naruto Esquire! Yes? I'm innocent! You have to believe me! You, more than anyone now! Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear.
Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom.
Let's go.
Oh, yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean.
That's probably for the best.
Oh.
If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Von Zieks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. At least, that's my gut feeling.
Mr. Naruhodo.
You're right. Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, Loki student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Well said. I swear on the sword at my side, and on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lord can do. I'll set you free, with honor.
Oh, yes.
"22nd of February, 9:40 a.m. The Old Bailey, courtroom." "In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed."
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my learned Japanese friend, is not what the defense needs. What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. It's not just in my imagination, it's really there. Lord Von Zieks has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason.
It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all.
Yet now he's back in the courtroom. Though for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper, this curious disdain for us Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Soseki-san's trial.
"Furthermore, I now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty?"
Fuck, what was his voice again? It's been a while.
"Absolutely. I had a feeling this larrikin wasn't innocent before."
I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right.
Oh, well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually.
I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick.
I couldn't agree more. I need to take Home fight Bob tonight, when the missus will go through the roof.
Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here, and lead us flock to a righteous verdict.
The British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of the judgment is in the hands of 6 members of the public, and that the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt.
6 citizens of London, chosen at random, or at least that's the idea.
The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today.
Very well, let us commence the trial. Lord Van Zieks, your opening statement, please.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric Nipponese before has dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetuate a most blood-curdling crime, namely that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witnesses to the stand.
Oh, he's already getting the cloak off.
The detective responsible for investigating the scene and the accused himself.
Eating his fish and chips in court.
Witnesses, your name and occupations, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division.
Suzuki Natsume, from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student, to study your language and culture.
Mr. Natsume,
Yes, my lord, sir.
I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken that you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday.
The day before, in fact, my lord, but close enough.
Believe me, this is the last place I want to be.
Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court.
Right you are, sir. The incident occurred at the Garrideb household where the defendant had his lodgings. In the ground floor of the victim, Mr. William Shamsmere. The defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shamsmere collapsed on this floor as a result of poisoning by strychnine. He was found the following morning when the landlord suspecting something was wrong, broke down the door.
This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident?
Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible.
Although the victim, Mr. Shamsmere, lives to tell the tale, he very well nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord, and I have a photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked.
Yes, a chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased.
That's right. Everyone present believes that's exactly what he was.
Very well. I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. Now then, Mr. Natsume,
Yes.
As the defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture?
They're haunted by evil spirits.
Good gracious, what's haunted?
My lodgings! There's been no series of string remedies in my lodgings. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned. And me! What about me? And I've been killed countless times.
Killed, Mr. Natsume? How?
Even on the fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shasuya's room, I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed. Before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me.
You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume.
But it's so cold. My runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed?
Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events.
If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point.
Conclusive? Go on.
Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspear, has regained consciousness after his ordeal, and he has named the true culprit. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused.
The accused? Good grief. Order! Order!
Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Soseki-san is innocent, then why? Why has the victim accused him?
Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation?
Good evening, yes. I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamsier's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. But this is the result. I will never touch tea again, never!
The public pump was frozen, you say?
That's not information we've heard before.
That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection.
None whatsoever, my lord.
Good. Then you will give your account of events on the night in question to the court now.
Yes, my lord.
The catastrophic night.
It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. My tea was completely harmless! He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he?
Street noise takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands.
Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward.
Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claims his tea to have been harmless. Presumably, though, the teacups have been examined for traces of poison, haven't they?
Why didn't I think of that?
Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to.
Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect's substance?
How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done?
My learned Nepalese friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked.
Unable? Why?
It's simple enough. There was none left. not a drop. Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With the current scientific techniques, it is not possible to test for poison under such circumstances. We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough.
Huh.
The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question.
I see. Thank you. The matter is clear.
Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend.
What?
You can see it in their faces, I'm sure, the recognition of the accused's guilt. Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity.
He's right. I can't feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. Placing a bet on it being an assassin's teapot type of situation? Possibly. But right now we don't really have enough information to really know what actually happened. But I can't let him beat me down. I won't.
Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. Let me check my evidence. Secondhand book receipts. Yeah. Street map. There was a green line around it.
This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking.
Yes. Unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean.
I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark.
I always gulp it down too.
Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold.
Clearly, I should have to instruct you in a proper way to take tea.
Okay, no tea ring. This must be the cup that Mr. Shamsphere was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside.
Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea.
Oh really? I never noticed before.
You never noticed?
Well, I never leave it in a cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it?
Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese.
A bar of soap. Oh. Yes. Oh.
What is it, Mr. Naruhodo?
This bar of soap. When we first found it, I could have sworn there was some sort of round disc in this depression just here. A reddish one.
Yes, you're right. I remember it too. But now the depression is completely empty.
Where could the disc have gone? Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they?
Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed.
Mrs. Sato, I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
You can never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo. Never.
And then this crime scene photograph. There's that there. Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, it's a massive trench mark here. Trench mark, there's the boiler.
Hold it!
Alright. Were you and your neighbor good friends then?
No! We weren't friends! Not at all! Not at all! Never, ever!
A simple no would have sufficed. Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit?
Mr. Shamsir fancies himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together.
Come now, no Lebanese could understand the finer points of English literature.
And on the night in question, that was the topic of conversation as well, I presume.
It was on the day of my last trial. When I was acquitted, I just arrived back at my lodgings when I ran into Mr. Shamsir outside on the street. That was around 6 o'clock. We exchanged one or two pleasantries, but it soon turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out at the time, though, so I promised to visit his room that evening at night to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No! Not one! Not two! Not any! Not at all! Never! Ever!
A simple no would have sufficed, I feel.
Then tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room.
Hold it!
A literary debate about Shakespeare's works. I think you said, didn't you?
Shakespeare? Ah, a very worthy topic of conversation, I must say.
Oh yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet! Who was stronger? It was profoundly pleasurable parley.
Romeo and Juliet?
Who was stronger?
I know I'm going to regret asking this, but how did the debate go?
Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with a reenactment, so we battled it out, in a Greco-Roman style, naturally.
Saya? What?
Mr. Shamsir had all sorts of costumes in his room for such a contest.
So when you say a reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume?
Here's Romeo, I is Juliet. And after a vigorous wild tussle, I as Juliet came out on top. A victory I'll cherish forever.
Wait, what? So they literally just got in the Romeo and Juliet costumes and just duked it out in the fucking room? What?
I dare not imagine the terrible scene of carnage.
The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea and took it to the victim. Correct?
I boiled the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I heard that he was too poor to have tea himself, you see.
It's true. There was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room.
I wanted to do something nice, to be friendly. So why did everyone look at me with such suspicion? My name was harmless. Of course it was.
And do you have any basis for that statement, witness?
Hold it!
Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there?
That's correct. Anyone would think the fellow had never had a pot of tea before. He must have licked it dry. Which is a pity, because one drop was all we would have needed to analyze it for poison.
And you say that you returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, Mr. Natsume.
Yes, definitely. By heaven and earth, I swear it.
The landlord was able to verify that as it happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night.
And how was the landlord able to attest this?
He, said it was lamps, I believe.
The lamps, Inspector?
When the tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in the other parts of the house flicker.
Yes, Mr. Galadeb seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants.
There's only one key to Mr. Shamsir's room. I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself from inside his room.
The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes.
So I'm right. My team was harmless. Completely harmless. If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that.
It's not that simple, I'm afraid.
What do you mean?
Hold it!
How long does it take for the symptoms to appear then?
A According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison was consumed, then the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping, and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation.
So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure.
Oh dear, death by poisoning again. It's always so awful.
30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left.
You can't deny that, and it further degrades Soseki's outside alibi.
I have the medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It spells it out, really. The accused is the only person who could have done it.
Very well. The court will add this report to the court record as evidence.
Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms.
Great.
Let me check the report. Mr. Rooney's own, just in a small quantity of strychnine.
Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likelihood of substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. Investigative conclusions. Poisoning incident occurred at around 1:30 a.m. on the 21st of February. Assessed from the victim's pocket watch that appears to have broken when the man collapsed after the delayed onset of symptoms. No container for the poison was found at the scene. Okay.
Hold it!
The argument still stands, you say?
This is what Mr. Natsume has been saying, isn't it? The pair of them drank tea together that night, so if there was poison in it, the victim wouldn't have been able to lock the door after the accused left later on.
Exactly! Me and my tea are innocent! Sweet innocent, I tell you!
I'm afraid, sir, that doesn't follow. You say strychnine is a slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear. So you could have left the room up to 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea. As long as you did that, there's a chance Smith could have locked the door after you'd gone.
But no! We drank the tea straight away! The battle over when the Romeo and Juliet was stronger! That came after the tea.
Do you have any evidence to support that statement?
In my great homeland, nearby Japan, we have a saying, drink the tea while it's on!
Sure, a proverb will satisfy the prosecution.
I'm afraid there's no conclusive proof to support the defendant's assertion. On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds to infer his guilt in this matter.
No.
That's the extent of their testimony, is it?
If I could voice a personal opinion, Mr. Naruhodo.
Of course, go ahead.
Mr. Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently, yet Inspector Gregson just brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating.
I agree. So we need to find an inconsistency in what the inspector is saying, I think.
I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsume guilty.
As I see it, what we need to focus on is the poison and the tea. Let's listen carefully to this testimony again.
Yes.
People don't keel over. Would have been perfectly able to lock the door after the drink. Yes, left. Okay. collapsed at the late onset of symptoms. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. I might have this or this. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Yeah, okay, I think it might be the last one. I think I might present this.
Objection!
Nope, that's not the right one. Nope. That's not the right one. Yeah, that's not right. Nope. Okay, it's not that one. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. So that one's not gonna work. The victim can be seen unconscious at the table having been poisoned. I don't know, so there's the poison.
Objection!
Okay, so it is this one. The argument still stands, you say? I think not, Inspector.
Come again?
I think you'll find that you've overlooked a very significant chronological inconsistency here.
What? What are you on about?
According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning, and yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. In other words, if there was poison in that tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left? Why is the second screaming?
The defense argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Von Zinks?
Don't you fucking dare say the autopsy reports are outdated. Don't you dare pull an Edgeworth.
Pray forgive the discourtesy, my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would be best to complement the contents of my hollow chalice in this luncheon. How could it have happened, you ask? I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Lebanese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea.
A phantom?
Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the Jews had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report. Yes, at around 1:30.
Objection!
Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there is a well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot.
Objection!
And in my country, there's an even more apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea.
The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned, or other possibilities.
What sort of possibilities, Counsel?
Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor.
Another visitor? That is a very bold assertion, my learned friend, from someone who has nothing to substantiate it.
Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition.
You're suggesting this may have been a suicide, Counsel?
Objection!
Mr. Shamsvir categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
Objection!
But he could be lying.
There's something wrong, Lord Von Zinks.
I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray, forgive the discourtesy.
Carriage? What carriage?
It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived.
Out, brief. Oh, it's Shamsvir. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Who, sir, are you?
William Shamsvir, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What? What's he doing here?
The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With this testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed.
You're calling him as a witness?
Very well, Counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself.
Happy am I, Shamsvir, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord.
But I still have my own tale to tell. My own tale of worse woe! I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence! In perfect English!
That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim.
Oh, alright. So that's Mr. Shamsphere. But who's that other man beside him?
Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before.
State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses.
A writer of words so sweet they do scent the breeze, and an inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great bard to be recalled to life anew, lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shakespeare.
Oh, my name's Meter Man. I don't be Weeder Man. I work for Auto Gas Company, East End Branch Office.
Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road.
Shamsphere and his lovely assistant, Mr. Potato Head. His head does look like a potato. Oh yes, she's right, it's him. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Saseki-san's lodgings.
There's something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo.
Excuse me, could we have a word? He flexed a pose and ran. Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garadip's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee? What does he have to do with this case?
So, Mr. William Shakespeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember that sweet poison that didst cross me and cross mine innocent lips?
I subpoenaed him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure.
Behold, you only have to rearrange the letters of my name to see that's me, a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be.
Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all.
The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid.
You're actually taking this seraph anagram idea seriously?
Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions.
But my lord, what's the man next to Shamsphere doing here? The gas man, I mean.
What? Me? Well now. Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence. When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question, and moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar.
What? No, I didn't quite say that.
This young chin stroker is here to controvert your wild claims, naturally. Is that not so, Mr. Meter Man?
Hang on. No, I'm just here.
I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. One may smile and be a villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of what? That wintry night of my discontent.
the wintry night of my discontent.
The snow lay about. My neighbour did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But merry bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, naught else.
I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. No one else visited his room but that short little round back Eastern fella.
Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamsfield's room all night?
That's right. Of course, the bloke's window is all but locked up, isn't it? There's a little gap in the bricks where you could see into the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered in through there.
The question is, sir, why?
Well now, that's because he's on my list.
What piece of work is a man? Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed, make no more ado about his tedious words.
What do you say about me? Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more.
Indeed, that is so.
And as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime.
Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Hold it!
To be clear, by neighbor, you are referring to the defendant, Mr. Natsume. Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance thou wouldst that I called him the man from upstairs.
And at what time did the mustachio Nipponese visit you in your room?
Our meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo did he come to a tender gift of fragrant tea.
Details which are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes.
And we were broiled in such a literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means
A discussion about who was the stronger, Romeo or Juliet.
I, Shamsford, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbour played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as if we would our characters be to bring weight upon our merry experiment.
I dare not imagine the scene.
Fealty, thy name is Woman. Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I has heard of the English art of jujitsu, but near did I dream 'twould be a skilled practice by the comely maiden.
Juliet beat Romeo up? This is not helping our case. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room.
My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I will do thy bidding.
Hold it!
Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time. If the defendant had really put the poison in your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Gladly. 'Tis an easy task.
What?
I did drink of the tea, not while my guest did still tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour post midnight, verily my lips parched.
Objection!
Were my lips parched?
That doesn't sound normal.
Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire. After all, thou would recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there be no time for fiery tea.
Romeo and Juliet again, and who was stronger?
Mr. Shamspeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker?
But of course, my liege, 'twas the stupid lover of words did attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil.
Ugh, we all know what that means.
Hold it!
So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal, dinner, supper?
Huh. Fire luxury, fire gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time.
Sorry?
I would that my belly were full no more of than the sun doth arise.
Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say.
Night and day do fill my hours with learned study of the great bard and playwright, and is it that there doth not in my chamber be than the costumes of mine art.
That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room.
Now that I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single play or script anywhere.
For I have devoured them all.
You've eaten them?
Every word be within my skull, didst thou imagine otherwise?
Right, that wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around? Do you think?
Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea.
Hold it!
But the windows of that house have all been filled in.
A historical artifact of of the now defunct window tax.
Yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking in through that gap.
Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there?
And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well.
I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on the freezing cold nights. But them's my orders, and that's what I'll keep doing, so long as there's breath in my body.
What's with all the theatrics today?
Out of interest, Mr. Meatman, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all?
No, he never left. He was in the room the whole time as far as I'm concerned.
And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide.
How can you be so sure of that?
The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and hence he didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit would have removed the receptacle.
Ah, yes. Lucidly explained, Counsel. Thank you.
It really was. You can't argue with logic.
Hold it!
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella, so you can't be sure it was the defendant then.
Objection!
How many other short little round-backed nibblies with a mustache do you think there are in London?
Well, of course, it's on their narrow gap and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. But he showed up around 9, so I'm pretty sure myself.
And when was the person you saw arrive? Did he and Mr. Shamster drink tea together?
Ah, sorry, couldn't say.
Why not?
Because I couldn't see into the room all that well, could I? But what I did see was the silhouette of that little round back fellow wearing a pretty dress. Then the pair of them started some kind of wrestling match. I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it.
I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway.
Mr. Meterman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question?
No question, Gasman's honor.
Oh?
My lord. Goodness me. Yes, Mr. Foreman? I've kept my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this has gone on long enough. Are all of you with me?
Yes! Are we to understand that you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are in agreement with one another? That you reached an unanimous decision?
Too right we have. Are you all with me?
Yes! Wait, no. The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination.
To be honest, I was holding a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room.
Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it.
But in the end, what difference do they make? And as far as I can see...
And since that's now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer.
Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 pop home with me tonight, the missus will blow a top.
Huh? What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said. Very well. Let the court be apprised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Well, shit.
Looks like set for a summation examination.
Right off the bat. All of you?
Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous.
So, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished.
Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please. The trial isn't over yet.
What do you mean, Mr. Sato?
What about the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have? That obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations, remember?
A summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course, but here in the British Court of Law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. Hey, Zane. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Why am I not surprised at my learned Nepalese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth.
Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination.
Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered.
Yeah, but what about the last time we did it? We were able to pull that off like multiple times.
Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. The court will proceed with a summation examination, outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law.
Thank you, my lord.
Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we all know about this young lad's tenacity. We're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused.
Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions.
The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There is no reason to doubt the man.
Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid.
Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy.
There is no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a Frenchman, for now at least.
I really don't care, like, I just need this story to end quickly.
3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know. Nothing at all. I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced.
It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamsphere is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen.
If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements.
And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered at all.
Well, here it goes. Let's not forget. I pleaded with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before and it worked, so you never know.
Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summation examination works, Mr. Naruto.
Oh.
Well, you're still very new to the British law after all.
That's true, I suppose, and Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Susato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again, or not bother? No need. We've already gone through this shit before several times. Thank you for the kind offer, Mrs. Sato, but I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary.
Of course, I understand, and I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you.
The key to this is really listening to each juror's statement, finding two that are contradictory, and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other.
Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination.
Yes, my lord.
Hold it!
Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars?
I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example.
Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar.
Look, the point is that the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was the Japanese man's tea. When you take the gasman's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer.
Well, that's alarmingly logical.
But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values. If it turns out that the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right?
Well, yes, perhaps. Though I don't see it happening.
Huh? What's that? End Legion? On the end here? You know, you'll have to speak up.
Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over.
How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury then? Alright, sir, may I hold you to that? Don't forget what you said. Huh. The victim's a liar, I'll show him. If you show me that the victim's a liar, I'll reconsider my position. Okay. No reason to lie, I think he's rather splendid.
Hold it!
Are you saying that you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid?
No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid.
So you say, yet again.
Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously. It's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all.
Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you so much. No, not one of those things is a reason to find the man guilty.
But he is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact. He's Japanese, he has a mustache, and he stoops. You see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps, like a waltz, in fact. You know, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance.
You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though, and you're on the wrong foot. No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt.
But the victim's versions of events is backed up by what the big-chinned man next to him says, isn't it? 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese man there. Oh, there's another 3 steps. All this really does seem to be more and more like a waltz, doesn't it?
Right. The prosecution will waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more.
Hold it!
The fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam?
It really is a most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence, we can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued.
I'm sorry, you lost me a little there. Who are you?
I'm the wife of Augustus Altamont, owner of the Altamont Gas Company.
Good gracious, Altamont Gas, you say?
Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree.
Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Gotta be used properly. Altamont Gas is the best in the world, of course.
Ah, I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Nadholder.
Right. Oh, bow. Right, he bowed in defense to his employer's wife, did he? Ah, so would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shamspeare was up to in his room?
I'm afraid that there's no end to the lengths the population of the East End would go in order to steal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies someone as a possible fraudsman, but to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations.
So you mean Mr. Shamspeare is...
I wouldn't come out and say it in public, but you couldn't finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief.
You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you?
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin. But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song.
We might not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an ultimate gas explosion.
So Mr. Shamspeare has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement.
My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed?
A little before that part about the abject violence, if it's not too much trouble.
Yes, of course.
This could be it. This could be the shift in this could shift the balance. My company's gas.
Hold it!
I need to press these two first before I pit anything else. You talking about needing to take home some money? What's that all about, sir?
Finish last. That's what it's about.
What's that?
I'm talking about Derby at Hyde Park, aren't I? It was the Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it?
Derby?
It was a dead cert, that's the thing. I couldn't lose, so I took my wife's secret savings line. But then, the homeless old man went and did the unthinkable. That stupid finish loss.
Oh dear. I think it's clear what happened, isn't it? He gambled and lost his wife's savings.
This is the day the missus uses her savings for a trip down the pub. So come on, let this busy lie now. Just give it up.
No, that's not going to happen.
Hold it!
What do you really mean by that, sir?
Well, I'm not the one to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning. I do.
At 5? You're really an early riser then, aren't you?
Huh? What's that now?
I said you're an early riser.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I like to while away the hours in the evening reading books as well. But about 2 in the morning, I'm usually too tired to go on.
He sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5. Oh my, that means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night.
Huh? What's that, dear?
Only 3 hours of sleep each night!
That's right. You see, 3 hours of missing time. Like I said, it's not much, is it?
Yes, really isn't helping. The key to the summation examinations is identifying contradictions between juror statements, Mr. Naruto. Right. Once I found 2 jurors whose statements can't coexist, I need to pit those jurors against each other. And hopefully when they see that what they're saying doesn't make sense, they'll change their leaning. Yes, and if you're able to change the minds of a majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. But conversely, if you're unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move to the abdication. And I can't let that happen. Somehow or other, I have to turn this trial around. Show him that he's a liar. He's very fishy. Show me that the victim's a liar. Okay. I know I'm definitely going to be using her statement. Okay, so it's... He's a common thief on my company's gas, okay? Has no reason to lie. I think he's rather splendid. Do I go with the first one or the second one? Is it this one?
Objection!
Yeah, it's this one, yeah. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel?
Juror number 1.
What are you yelling about, lad?
I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas?
Well, yes.
The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief.
So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much.
It's true, we don't have evidence as such just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know.
What?
You heard me, seeing as his operation has already been compromised. I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there.
Oh, do whatever you say, my lady. Gasman's honor.
Juror number 1, you say you're a man of your word. If I could show you that Mr. Shamsphere was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt.
Yes, I did say that. As a man of honor, I'll hold to it, as I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will.
Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further.
Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard of half of what you've all been saying. So if it means you'll recap a few points, then the rest will be down to the ground.
Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial to be over and done with.
In that case, I shall change my leaning.
So, Mr. William Shamsphere, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are.
That's majority. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Victory! Alright, we're back in action.
Order! Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Now only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. Now I therefore declare this court to be in the state of a discord. Whatever. Well, let me check. Disaccord.
Yeah, it is discord.
And order the trial to continue.
You have spoiled the bouquet, Mr. Shamsphere. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find that they are unable to trust you, the victim.
But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God amend me, I do swear. The Scathman speaketh that which concerns him most, not but gas, not but thin air. Ay, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul.
Oi, what do you say?
Do I take it, Mr. Shamsphere, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart.
Ah, you flowery mouth pompous beanpole, just cause I haven't got the evidence yet.
Mr. Shamsphere, if, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom.
It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All the testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case.
Oh no.
However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it will be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
I assure you, my lord, that it will be a waste of the court's time. The casts in this case are unrelated.
Juror number 4.
Yes?
Didn't you say before that although you have no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him?
That's right, we do. Don't we, worker?
Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Gasman's honor.
Very well.
Oh, I clicked out on accident.
Very well then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamsphere, has been stealing gas.
Yes, my lord. It'll be my pleasure. On the Altamont gas name, I swear.
If I may, my lord,
Go ahead, madam.
this worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind.
Wow, oh yeah, Sweeney's on it. Yeah.
Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request.
Thank you, my lord.
You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting. You mark my words.
So, you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel.
Yes. Is that clear, my good man?
Clear as Altamont gas, my lady. Which is the clearest in the world.
Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Mr. Sato?
I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo.
The Altamont Gas Company's investigation.
I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept 3 bits each coin, giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas.
And yet the meter in Mr. Shams's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter didn't appear to have been tampered with though, and the collection agent has only the key.
Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is?
Oh, that could explain the mold on the back of the soap.
Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn into my hollow chalice.
What do you mean by that remark, Lord Von Zeeks?
Did the mustachio Nipponese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court, and yet now we must listen to this abhorrence. Clearly what separates the vast British Empire and no Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance.
But this could turn out to be a crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead.
Do what you will.
Lord Von Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood.
Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incident of gas death with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance, but I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places, and the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. So does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters?
That I do. After trying to catch people when they're in, then I ask permission to come inside and do my business.
Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before, as well as that of Mr. Shamsphere?
Well now, interesting you should bring that out, because I believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them survive in the winter is beyond me. It really is.
Knowing Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books.
And then when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth.
You will kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman.
No much to say really, but as you wish.
So all London houses that have a gas supply are fitted with these gas meters, are they?
They are the latest model, the height of technology, developed by our company Altamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes.
So if a 3-pence coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins in a night?
A bit more than that usually. If they have both gas lights and gas stove, that is.
Thinking about it, Suzuki-san doesn't have a fireplace in that room of his, does he?
Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating.
Ah, yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsumi's room, actually.
And how does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company?
Every 3 days, gas men like visit properties on the gas supply and empty the meters for coins.
I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues, for the most part.
Ah, because they have to pay in advance, you mean?
Yes, exactly right.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on?
Weeks and weeks. He's been punching gas on us for ages.
And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shamsfield's room, I take it.
Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine tooth comb.
And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume.
No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shamsphere Special.
That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces.
But even after all that, the Vasco's meter was still empty.
I'll never forget the humiliation. When I opened the money box and found him there. You what? I said, you what? And look at the look on his face. The smile of his. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of being jammed open anywhere. Not a single sign. And what's happened to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what.
A life-threatening situation, in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter?
Nothing became of it. I still got it.
Oh.
Right here.
And what do they call you, Meter Man?
You think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing?
Definitely. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it.
Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has much value as the contents of that meter.
Oof.
Can we open it? That's a very sturdy looking padlock, isn't it?
And the money box is sealed with beeswax too.
So if Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately.
Mr. Naruhodo, issues of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would...
You know, you didn't finish that sentence, don't you?
Well, anyway, it's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs.
But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? Oh. Oh, what's...
Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo?
just here? There's a little hole. Do you see?
Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed.
It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say.
So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamsphere?
Possibly. It seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it.
Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through the inside. Through to the inside.
Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through here.
That's true. But even so, it seems more than a little suspicious.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might have like poked a stick in there and like, what, pushed the coin back out that he put in? That's what I'm guessing.
Hold it!
There's only one key for all your meters?
Well, in truth, there's another key in the company vault at our main office. But even if someone had somehow managed to get a hold of a key, we know if the coin box has been opened.
Oh, how?
I came up with a rather clever way to expose a little shenanigans as it happens.
Would you care to explain?
Well now, in order to enter your meter, you have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. But when I close it again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see.
A seal? Like the sort of thing you put on an envelope, you mean?
Something like that, yes. Basically, you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal.
Now, in the case of Mr. Shamsier's meters, there were no coins inside at all, as I said.
But the seal had been broken either.
So that would mean Mr. Shamsier somehow managed to steal coins from the inside the meter without opening it?
It would seem so, but that would be impossible.
Hold it!
How do you know that he's been using gas though?
Well now, since I started investigating this bloke, I've been to his room more than a few times. On every single occasion, his lamps have been blazing and his stove pounding. It's in the middle of winter and he still turns to me, sweat dripping down his cheeks, and says,
Get thee to a nunnery. Hamlet indeed.
I could wring the bloke's neck. I get all hot on the collar, but still, every time I open that flaming meter, it's empty. He's robbing me of my salary too. What's wrong with this world? Where's the justice?
But how can Mr. Shamsier be possibly be stealing the money? I don't understand.
The simple explanation is right before your eyes.
What?
A toast to you eventually realizing that the gasman could be an accomplice.
You what?
Good lord. Eminently plausible indeed.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, please let it quit me, I'm a paper worker. And besides, if the money us gasman collect doesn't tell it with how much gas has been used, you don't can't pay by the same amount.
So you'd be stealing money only to have the same amount taken from your wages. Clearly that makes no sense.
Perhaps it's a case of losing the battle to win the war?
No, I'm not gonna steal up that hornet's nest. If I went stealing for the company, I'd be finished.
It would seem there is no evidence to support the claims of thievery made against the victim, because Mr. William Shamsier is innocent. Pray, forgive me if that shatters some illusion my learned Nepalese friend was clearly under.
Ugh. I certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that looks like it's been taking place in the very same room.
According to the testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shamsier's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Mr. Natsume.
I know, it does seem that way. But the fact is, since I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases that are interlinked.
Oh,
It might seem that two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact, they're intimately connected.
yes, we have experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance.
Perhaps, but we can't be sure of that yet. If the Altamont Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shamsier so earnestly, there must be something to it. But then, how has he been managing to steal their gas? Had been tampered with? I think we present this!
Objection!
Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with.
What?
Get away! I'm over and over that thing. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it.
In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's being made at the base of the coin box?
Hole? What?
You're right. You're quite right. There's a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do.
In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamster secretly opened this hole himself.
Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why?
Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get any farther than through that.
Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter's design.
What sort of details?
Well, what I specifically like to know is how it's dismantled, how it differentiates coins. Well, given the fact that there's a medallion center that has mysteriously vanished, I'm guessing it probably this? He's probably been using that medallion to trick the coin machine. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins?
What do you mean?
Well, for example, if someone were to put in 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work, presumably, wouldn't it? Would it?
No, of course not.
So, well, how does the meter know that the coin's been fed is a through penny bit?
Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A 3-penny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit.
Yes, we meet again indeed. I'm here to watch you, XD. Yeah, how are you doing? Ah, I see. It's clearly been very well thought out.
The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent.
As you wish, my lord.
Hold it!
But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching a 3-pence coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally be used. Would, that be true?
Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes into a certain extent as well.
We thought of that though anyway. If I find any fake coins inside the coin box when I empty the meter, the contract says the customer will have to pay 100 times the amount they diddle as a fine. We live for moments like that, I guess we do. Live for them. Ha ha ha.
Huh. It would seem the gas company has thought of everything.
Wahoo! Hurrah for gas! Hurrah for cash! How's about all the way?
That's quite enough of that.
Remind me, how big are through penny bits?
About 3/4 of an inch across.
What do you think, Mr. Nadahodo? Is this 2-centimeter measurement significant? Perhaps there is some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on. Yes, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different tack here. Like asking about whether the meter can be dismantled, for example. Delve deeper or leave it? Let's try this one. How can the meter be dismantled?
Dismantled?
Yes, given that there are no signs of it having been forced. I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart.
Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made by a first-class locksmith from the finest quality steel. And the meter box itself is made from plate steel as well, welded shut to ensure it cannot be opened again. I can assure you it's quite impossible to dismantle it.
Wahoo! Yeah! No leanings from the Altamont meter! No coins, no gas, no nothing!
I see.
The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent.
As you wish, my lord.
I think I'll have to switch that back. Has anyone tried?
Oh yeah, they tried, but they were all giving up before long.
After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action.
Yes, that makes sense. What do you think, Mr. Netholder? Is it welded steel construction? Is the welded steel construction something? Or perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on? Yes, you may be right. The meter differentiates coins. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna be taking that approach then. Yeah, okay, we've gone through that. Oops, I skipped it.
Objection!
What? That last what? Okay, I guess that doesn't work. And the number. Okay, I guess that. What? Okay, apparently. Oh man. Okay. The meter. I think I'll have to look at it again. Oh, look at this bar of soap. There's a circular depression on the side, about 2 centimeters across. Oh, 3/4 of an inch. Ah, do you think? We did find the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yeah, we have to look at it again. Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Or could it have gone? Okay. Okay, now we present the evidence. Oh my god. Okay.
Objection!
There we go. Now we present the evidence. Okay, I didn't know we had to look at it again. Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamsier's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly.
Something the same size as a threepenny bit? What was it?
The item in question is this.
What? Have you been doing any guess? It's a bar of soap.
It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say.
It looks like I'm going to have to point it out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here. Do a little flip and... Oops, I hit the history button.
Got it!
Got it! You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean.
Ah! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there?
That's right. A depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit.
Get away!
Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen.
It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it?
You could just ask somebody to throw one in.
Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now to see if it fits. My word, it couldn't be more snug.
Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded.
Well, I don't believe it.
So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas.
Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit.
I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape.
And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You could make fake coins in no time.
This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method of Mr. Shamsphere has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet.
But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my word, he would have found them when he emptied the meter.
Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear.
I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause fake coins to disappear into thin air. Yes.
Exactly. And the meter here gives it away.
What on earth?
There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room.
If that is your assertion, counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method be used to make the fake coins disappear to be seen?
The hole? At least I hope it's the hole.
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window.
Outside?
Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meter Man, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap.
Ah, I get it.
That's right. The answer, of course, is ice.
Did you say ice?
Mr. Shamsphere has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning.
Then he takes the fake coins out of ice and feeds them with the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts.
Ah, I see. Turning back into water, and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas.
Just like that? So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water?
That's right, madam.
I don't believe it! It can't be true! Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless?
I'm fairly sure I didn't design it.
Evidence!
Sorry?
I want evidence! If you don't understand there and telling me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof!
She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she?
Yeah, well, I already got the fucking evidence. The massive puddle in the room. Very well, Lady Altamont. If you like evidence, I'll provide it.
What?
Miss Nada, hold on. Are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory?
I didn't notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with could now explain it. The piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shamsphere has been stealing gas is... Yep, right here, baby.
Take that!
This is a photograph of the scene at which the point... I repeat that. This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson, and it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamsphere.
What remnants?
Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamsphere's room. Now, Look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter.
What is that? Some kind of grubby stain?
Almost certainly, it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the coin meter's box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor.
This is awful.
And there's further evidence too. Mr. Chancellor is slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half.
You're right.
It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he?
Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not.
He didn't beat around the bush there, did he?
In truth, Mr. Chancellor was found with a fork in his hand.
A meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely, Lord.
Do you mean to say it was using that fork too?
Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap.
But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well.
Good gracious!
Lord Van Zieks?
I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit mistake.
What is the meaning of this, Counsel?
Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with our most recent cross-examination?
Well,
That Mr. William Shakespeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable.
that's it. That's exactly it.
Very well. Let us assume that the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make?
Well,
We know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shakespeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for an immediate abdication.
what? Yeah, it's kind of hard to link the cases here.
Order! Order! Well, Counsel, how does the defense respond?
Mr. Naruhodo,
What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all? Like Lord Van Zieks is saying. How is it linked exactly? Is he drunk? It said he drunk the tea. Yeah, because we have evidence that he drunk the tea, but what other vessel art could there be? Um... These are signs of the tea the victim was drinking. No sample could be obtained for testing. Investigative conclusions: the poisoning incident occurred. Hard to say if there's any link. Because what would this prove exactly? I'm having a hard time seeing anything. Result of reduction? No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest.
What?
But counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamspear to consume gas. What's more there to discuss?
Lord Von Zieks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all.
What are you trying to say, my Japanese friend?
At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption, made due to a lack of evidence.
Oh.
But the situation has changed now. Following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand.
Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense?
Yes, when you bring everything we learned so far together and consider as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider. Namely, was the poison in the tea? Was someone else responsible? Was there another visitor? Was the poison in the tea? I'm gonna save on this part. Well, right now we have no fucking idea that there's any poison in the tea. There are no visitors except the accused, yeah. There's no sign of another vessel that contained the poison. And then suicide can be discounted. Was someone else responsible? Was there another visitor? Was the poison in the tea? I mean, I don't think well, the question is, if Shamspear is the one who is the culprit here, why would he poison himself? what would he gain out of getting Natsume arrested? Because this isn't a civil case, this is a criminal case, so he's not going to get any money out of it. Well, right now we don't know if there was any poison in the tea. That's the only thing we don't know. We've been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shamsphere was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There is no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left in the scene, it could be tested for the traces of the poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed, because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene, and a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed?
The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea?
The stain on the floor, I'm guessing. I'm guessing right here? I'm guessing some of the tea might have been spilled over there? Is that what we're going off on? Because that seems to be the only stain on the floor. What evidence from the scene of the crime tells us about the nature of the defendant's tea? There's no tea inside of Mr. Natsume's cup. Well, that's because he drank it so quickly that it didn't form any tea rings, so... Let's examine this again.
Take that!
What exactly is this piece of evidence supposed to reveal about Mr. Natsume's tea, counsel?
Well, I suspect it may, possibly, be related to the tea in some sort of way if we dig deep enough.
That you will be digging for a very long time indeed, my learned friend.
Oh. Oh. Damn, I thought it was gonna be the stain on the floor.
Even at the bottom of the deepest chasm, you'll find no sense in that absurd assertion.
Okay, so it might be the teacups then or something. Ugh. Sometimes I wish I could disappear down a deep chasm to escape this deep sarcasm.
Then I advise you to think more deeply before you answer that again this time.
What evidence of the scene could tell us the nature of the defendant's tea, okay. The teacups? No. From the crime scene. The teacups?
Take that!
No, it's not. Okay. Oh, I forgot to save up the. Okay, never mind.
Objection!
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 Some of the tea was left. Did he pour the tea into the soap? No, that doesn't make any sense. Did he? No, he couldn't have poured the tea into the gas mirror, did he?
Take that!
No.
Objection!
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 It's not that, it's not that. The soap?
Take that!
Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice?
Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soda at the scene yesterday. What, did he pour it into the soap? It's more bars of soap. It's more bars of soap. What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar.
So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating.
In a way, yes. But there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice.
There was something strange about them, you mean?
Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red.
The ice was red. No, you mean...
That's right. It's obviously to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. What? I'll remind the court the statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial.
That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamsier's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never I will touch the tea again! Never!
Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water means in the East End are prone to freezing.
So on the night in question, Mr. Shamsphere, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins.
My word!
Ah, okay, I see. There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene.
That's right, and we only borrowed one of them.
Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime, frozen solid in a bar of soap outside of Mr. Shamsphere's window.
Extraordinary.
Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that even if 1 drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in the position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture, by finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine at all.
Ugh, you smug Nipponese.
My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once, and the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contained any poison. Yeah, I actually forgot about the frozen water pump bit, so yeah.
Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once.
Yes, my lord, understood.
It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Von Zinks.
None, my lord.
Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim.
Yes, my lord. Well, we managed to scrape through the air somehow.
Thank you, counsels. The court is adjourned until tomorrow.
To be continued. Oh man, that last part was a bit of a doozy. But yeah, I think we'll call it here. Yep, farewell for now. And see you in the next stream. Because it's getting late for me.